Hello, okay, is this working? Oh wow, okay, I thought I was locked out of this. Alright, hold on. Alright, so, today I'll be making a game in RPG Maker and showing you how to do stuff. And, yeah, I don't have any script stuff, like, ready as far as, like, what to say. But, let's get started. Alright, so, I prepared a bunch of plugins. All the, uh, all the most essential plugins you'll need if you want to make a game in RPG Maker. Some of the like I made like 8 of these. Now I'm not gonna go into them right away, but as we go through this, we'll go ahead and add more, and I'll explain how to use them. How to use them. And let me go ahead and get the link for it too. Since I put it on Google Docs. Alright. Not Google Docs, my Drive, I mean. Google Drive. Google Drives. So there's the plugins to start off with. Now next, what I want to do is kind of get all of these to be low numbers. And we can go ahead and explore like what each of these like exactly does too. While we do that. So for testing purposes, I'm gonna have the swordsman class just go to 100 HP, 100 MP, 10 attack, 10 defense. And we'll see. We'll see how that looks when combined with the rest of the system's math. I think agility is good to have like 250 in the middle because it gives a good like base. The way agility works is you have enemies that are faster than you and you have things that are slower than you. And that determines who goes first. And then there's luck. Luck is this really weird stat where you have to have a really big difference in the numbers for it to actually even do anything. I would honestly not even worry about luck for the most part, because you're not even gonna really notice it. But I'm just gonna go ahead and normalize it at 250, along with agility. But you know what, I'm gonna put agility at 100. That way you have a bit more room for growth. Listen, trying over exactly what they do. So if you don't want your player to be able to evade, you'd have to turn this to 0. But I know the X parameters here, hit rate, evasion rate, critical rate, they all have to be here. You can't just delete these ones. Or the game will break. And target rate, I believe, and I don't remember entirely, but I'm pretty sure that's how often enemies target the player. This thing, if you hover over it with your mouse, it'll have a description. So this just says rate of change for specified SP parameter. The default value is 100. Yeah, the description doesn't actually say the specific uh, of what it does here. But I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's how often the enemy targets you for target rate. Oh, you know what? Let me connect my speech chat if I can. Oh, never mind. I can't. I can't log into the Twitch. Let me. I have to keep up with the. If there is a chat. Okay, and there is no chat right now. Okay, you know what? The first thing we really want to do when you start an RPG Maker is go into the music and the sound and turn all of it down to 45. Because the default game music and sound effects are way too loud. And it's not entirely a bad thing since you want to be able to have a good max volume. But if you do original music or try to add assets to, like in combination with the rest of the default stuff, or if you're even just using it as reference, you can have a bad time with that. You will end up comparing much quieter music to much louder music, and it's not gonna match well. And then later into making the game, you're gonna have problems with having to go back and matching the volumes with everything. So that's another issue that comes with that. Aside from just the general discomfort that comes from the absurd volume of these assets. Oh yeah, speaking of music. That'll make this more bearable. So again, right now I'm just going through all the default sounds and music and getting the volume to not be absurdly loud. I don't know if you can hear the sound effects playing from RPG Maker, but that is 45% volume. So that's still pretty loud. Why does a shop sound like a gunshot? Yeah, whatever. These are default assets, and they're free. Well, not only free, but they come like system, so. The next change you'd want to do in here is there's a typo in here somewhere. I forget which one it is. Let me see. Oh, here it is. However, it was unable to escape. You'll want to change it today. I mean, I assume you'd want to. You probably want to do that. Okay, let me see. Hold on. Oh, and hello, Zeta Zeros now. Okay, so next we're gonna again try to get, the low numbers, like just get a decent an easy to understand base level of stats. So that we don't have a bunch of math mudding up our understanding of battles. Before we pick an enemy, let's actually pick our actor. So, let's see. I like her. We're gonna go with this witch girl as the main character. Because nobody likes Ralph. Or I mean Reed. Same thing. We don't need this side view actor. Yes, we're not going to use that. But I'm gonna put it anyways. If I can find it. Hey, I don't think she's in here, so let's ignore that. I'll put Sorcerer, and since we're playing Sorcerer, we have to actually change the stats for Sorcerer instead of Swordsman. Now you might notice that the curve for the level the character is at, it's staying the same throughout the whole time. That's intentional because that is how the default base engine will do it. But if you want to have full control over it, there are methods to customize what HP each character is at. If you want to have, custom control, you're gonna want to just go with the invented way to customize the amount for each level. Or you can have level ups like with power up type of items and stuff if you don't use the way the engine handles it. Also, M attack and M defense are magic attack and magic defense, not max attack and max defense. And I should go ahead and put 0 for the defenses. And let's just put agility at 100. I'm putting evasion rate at 0 since I don't really want any RNG right now. Critical rate at 0. Now, I recommend putting critical rate at 0 for like all cases because what we're gonna do in a bit is customize the crits. So what that means is instead of relying on how RPG Maker's default system does it, we can add things like action commands or have really fancy crits that are. We can have ones that are like additional numbers, or we can have multipliers. But with RPG Maker, the crits, the way they work is they're always 300%, which is really stupid, and that doesn't work out for a lot of games. Yes, I have. I haven't released games before with RPG Maker, but I have experience since the 2000s, so I'm pretty familiar with it, even if I haven't released a full game before, because when I want to release, I have like high expectations for myself, and right. Well, we'll put together a game with this. Let's see, target rate, hit rates, 100% evasion rate. What's your stat? Okay, I think this all looks good so far. And we'll name our character. What do we name her? I'll let y'all decide if whoever's watching what we're gonna name our main character here. Or I could just use a character name generator tool on mine. The one method is just to name characters like based on what they are. So like we have a witch, she does magic. That's just like goes the Latin translation of magic. Let's go Spanish, I guess. We got the name Maggie, huh? Yeah, Maggie. Okay. It's a very simple way of coming up with names. Doesn't matter too much right now. We can always go back if we want to. Now let's make a simple enemy. Let's see, where is Ralph, or the original main character? Oh wow, you can't fight the original. The shonen protagonist character that we replaced. We can fight everyone else except that one, apparently. Let's fight this guy. He's close enough to a shonen protagonist type. I'll give him stats parallel to ours. Let's see, we'll get rid of evasion rate so he can't evade. And his hit rate is 95%, so that means he's gonna miss like 5% of the time. Which, is... So even though we have 0% evasion rates, he's still going to hit us like, 95% of the time, miss 5% of the time. And that's gonna combine with the evasion rates normally. So he would miss more often if we had evasion, of course. But we're gonna turn it up to 100%. And I'll just name him Thomas, because he looks like a Thomas. Okay, now next. Like I was saying about volume, I don't... So even what we have now at 45%, that's still pretty loud, I think, personally. So I put together this plugin. Where is it? Initial volume control. We set the default volume where the game starts at. And I'm gonna put that at 50. Because I hate having my eardrums blown out by a loud loud RPG maker start screams. Now let's just go ahead and open this, and first we'll walk around a bit, I guess, because I forgot to put in the enemy that we can battle. And I also had to get this project to show. There it goes. There we go. Now... Oh, what the heck? How'd that sound effect get there? Okay, there was oversight in the sound effects. Let's get an actual decent sound effect for that. Now, where the heck are the select sound effects? Oh, decisions is what they're called. Decision 1, Decision 2, etc. And you know what, let's add the event to start the battle to first before we forget that again. And since it's not showing the event commands box on the stream on OBS, it's in tab 3 and let's see. Hold on, maybe it's not in there. Crap, where is it? Where the crap is it? It's not in the battle rooms. It's misleading in the naming for that. So let me also mention that I normally do a lot of stuff without battles. That's it's uh it's not uncommon to find RPG Maker games without battles, especially in the horror genre. But yeah, we want to still go over battles, especially right now. That's like the main thing that we're gonna do today. Once I find how to get into the battles again. Oh, duh, it's the first option in the third tab. Battle processing and scene control. Now put Cam Escape and Cam Lose. And we have to go back because I also forgot to put a for I troop. As much as just Thomas. Let's put him in a fort-like area. Now we just add Thomas into this little scene and apply. And now here we put this to Thomas too. Oh, right, what? Oh, I forgot to put an image here, so we also have to put an actor here so I can actually see where this is, of course. Okay, there we go. And now we should be able to fight Thomas. Now, immediately, I also see we made one mistake with having a bunch of party members. Another thing we want to do when we start off a game is not have a starting party usually, because you don't usually start off with a bunch of teammates. Usually you get them along the game as you progress. So let's start that again without a party with us. Now, as you can see, we're doing like 35, 40 damage. That's not something that's that we want when, usually when we have like the enemy attack 10 damage with ourselves at 0 defense. However, I am aware of that being the reason for that. It's because we have, not just because I have a leather vest here, but because our skills have formulas here. And this is the default attack, so even the default attack that you use is gonna have this times 4 minus defense times 2 there. And then there's gonna be variance. So variance is the degree of variability. It's, as it says in the description, the value of the final damage will vary by this percent value. Along with weapons, so what does she have? She has no weapons, but, what's his name? Thomas. He also doesn't have a weapon. I think. Okay, yeah, he doesn't. Even though he does in his picture, he does not have a weapon. In reality, it's just a picture. So first, we'll get rid of the leather vest by clicking on it and putting none. Next, let's see. Skills. So let's put this variance at 0 and turn off critical hits. Because sometimes, uh, well, we don't want critical hits. Like I mentioned earlier, they're 300% damage more. And that's too much for most games. Let's see, next. Let's just have this at A attack minus B defense. I'm pretty sure that should be fine, and it's pretty straightforward. We don't have any weapons involved, so let's just ignore weapons. And we'll try that again now, with those changes made. And we should get to both the player and the enemy doing 10 damage. None of them are missing their attacks, none of them are evading. So that's a good thing. That means we have full control right now. Yeah, the next thing I want to do is get rid of that top right menu for phones. And that is with this plugin, this N Enhanced Touch UI button by No Loader. By No Lonar is the author name. So just go to here, show button by default, and keep that turned to fast. And we switch it on. Hold on. What did I do wrong here? Okay, that might be a cache issue. Because sometimes you have to, like, close and reopen RPG Maker. Let me see if, Normally you don't have those options either. Right, so even though I started a new file, you can see that that little touch menu went away. So that's again because of the cache needing to be cleared first. If you have that, um, or with or just like closing the engine first and reopening probably. But yeah, normally trying not to false will just keep it to not having it show up by default anyways. Right now, next. Let's see. Let me see one moment while I look at some notes. Okay, so next we're gonna get into a little bit more advanced stuff. Now we're gonna actually start getting started here with some interesting stuff. I'm going to make some common events, and we're gonna see how we can run those common events through the attack attack skill. So first, I'm going to copy and paste the attack and guard, and paste them all the way down here. Five, 15, 25, let's go with 35 to keep things even. And I'll call this section base skills. So I'm just putting these here for reference because we're going to be editing those areas. I'll just explain what attack is first. Attack, I did mention before actually, but it's the default attack for both actors that you play as and the enemies. And so if you have a weapon equipped, you'll actually do damage, additional damage with that weapon, combined with the attack level that you're at. So right now we have the player does 10 attack. Let's change that to Warren. And we'll have the player equip something that does like 8 damage. Let's see, staff, maybe this mithril rod. And we have the option to equip weapon. So in order to equip weapons, we have weapon types, and this staff, this rod, is a staff weapon type. So, in order for a sorcerer to equip a staff, they have to have equipped weapon, staff in the traits. Just to explain that. So we'll go with having her get a staff now. We'll give her a mithril rod. So even though her attack is at 1, it'll actually be 13. It should be 13 if she has this equipped. And we'll just go ahead and look at that. And, you know, let's, since I'm gonna just go ahead and play music, I'm gonna also get rid of the title theme and the battle theme. And the victory theme, we'll get rid of that too for now. And the defeat music and the game over music, because you might get a game over too. And there you go, you can see she does 13 damage with the staff. That's good enough, we can see what she does there. And while I'm at it, I'm also gonna go ahead and change the screen width to... Let's see... 1080 by 720 for the height. A small oversight there is that we need a map that actually matches those dimensions too. That's good enough for now. So next thing we're working on is, let's go back to this. We're going to make this not do anything. Damage none. Type none. Effects. This is going to be a common event, and we're going to make that common event the attack common event. Now, because it's an attack, we still want it to be with a target, an enemy. But the skill type is going to be none. As it was originally. And I think everything should be good here for now. Then we'll go to common events. And let's just have it show its message. Just to show that it's actually doing a common event. And you can do whatever you want to with this. So as you can see, every time they hit each other, it shows that test message. We also want to get rid of the animation, so let's put that to none here. And now it won't show the animation either. So now we can have that do whatever we want to. But we also want to differentiate between the player and the enemy. Which is why I put this... I made this script check actor. So we apply that. And... I should put a description for this, probably. Let's see. Wrong button. Sorry. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I kind of made a bit of mistake in not specifying what variable this affects. This affects variable 9. And I believe the enemies go to 500. So actor 1 should be... The variable should be 1 for actor 1. Let's see if that does work, because I honestly don't remember what I set it to. Okay, so that is correct. I need to go back into that plugin later and actually add more information to it than just leaving it blank with no information. So next, let's make a critical attack. And we can do that by having... Let's also make an action command while we do that. Or how about a double attack? So first, the next thing we have to do is... we'll go to force action, which is in the third tab in the event commands. Then we'll have the subject be the actor we want to do the attack. And the action will put skill, and we'll put the skill to that attack skill that we copied earlier. And we'll have the target be last target. So let's go to skills, attack. So we're basically routing this back to the main attack, the default attack. And let's have the enemy do the same. And 500 should be enemy worn. So if there's other enemies, if there's multiple enemies, and there's gonna be 500 worn for enemy 2, 502 for enemy 3, and so on. So once we apply that, they should be back to attacking each other like normal, like before. So as you can see, Maggie is doing 13 damage to Thomas again. Thomas is doing 10 damage to Maggie again. However, it's also saying there was no effect on Thomas and there was no effect on Maggie because of that initial attack. So this skill is being treated, this one up here, is being treated as an attack that's not doing anything, not having any effect on either of them. And then it's going to the common event, and then it's doing this attack afterwards. So in order to get rid of that message where it says that it was an effect or that didn't do anything, I have this other plugin here called Effect List that removes the there was no effect on the enemy, the target's message for skills with the type none. So once we turn that on, I delete that message here as well, where it says the character's name attacks. And now you can't even notice anything, any issues with it. So why would you do that? You're probably wondering if we're back at swear word. And that's because that gives us control to do a bunch of pretty much anything that we want to have happen. So let's see. Let me think. So we can also have the attack routed to an attack that is routed to another attack. If he wants a double attack, for example. So I'm gonna route this to that common event crit. And then I'm going to have another one called crit. And this one's going to do... Let's see. I'll do half damage. And we'll remove a common event on this one. So what's happening here is if the player attacks, it'll play this common event called attack, which will then cause them to do this skill down here, which does the damage that they'll do minus the enemy's defense. It'll play this effect, the animation, and I'll go to this common event called crit, where it'll control the variable, this variable number 21, and have it be either 1 or 2. So there's a 50% chance that it'll then play this, it'll activate this skill named crit that will do half the damage. So let's see if half the time it has an extra attack. And there it worked. We can already see that. And you could also just have this message say, attacks again. Now, of course, you could also just have one single critical attack where it just says either they do a regular attack or they do an attack that does a little bit more damage, and it says like does a critical attack or whatever, you know. But there's an example of a full critical attack sort of thing. Now, instead of doing this, though, we could also have action commands. And people are always wondering how to do that. The biggest suggestion is getting Stella, which costs like $50. But you could just like use event commands. So let me just remember how to do this. So let's make a tint screen. Let's make the screen tint to like a bluish color. To a blue-gray color. And then at the end of it, we'll have it have like a bright flash. I mean, not too bright. I don't want to hurt people's eyes. We'll have the flash duration be like 5 seconds. Oh no, not 5 seconds, 5 frames. 5 seconds is way too long. And during those 5 frames, we'll have the player able to input a command where if they successfully do it at the right time, they get this extra hit in. And we also have to make it feel that they don't do it at the right time. Now this part is tricky because If you don't do it right, it's gonna wait until 20 frames for you to be able to press the OK button. So instead, what we want to do is create a loop. Instead of 120 frames, we'll do like 1 frame. And then we'll do a check for once a variable adds up to or to make those weights add up to 120 weight frames. So for every frame that's being added, we have 1 being added to this variable. And once this variable reaches 120, then it can move on from that check. And for every frame, it's going to check if the player has pressed the OK button. And then once 120 has been reached, you can go ahead and exit the loop. Hopefully I'm doing that right, so I can't remember if that is the correct way to get a loop. But for if OK is being pressed, we'll press switch. And let's put it just here and call it AC fail. We can use the same variable afterwards still too for the next part. We just had to reset it first. So before it enters that loop again, for this section, for the 5 frames, we have to press while it's getting all bright. We have it like that first. And here we want to put it to 5 to check when it's reached 5 frames. We'll have this switch for AC pass. So if AC fail is off and AC pass is on, then you do that second attack. And hopefully that's correct. Initial's supposed to put a message here as well. I know a sound effect would be better. The sound effect miss sounds like the best possible sound effect for that. Well, I shall just put one for success. Right. So that didn't work for some reason. We should also put if AC fail is turned on. Then also break the loop then. and to only proceed if the failure did not happen. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's redo all of this. Had to press play on YouTube again. Here's where we'll have the action command actually play fondly. Now we have to do a bit of scripting to have the what's it called? The battle manager actually mention it too. So on the top, you know how there's that window that says like at the player did whatever and blank did blank. Like, you know, this is how you make text appear in the top like that with battle manager.log downside dot underscore log window dot push parentheses quote add text quote comma text and unquotes. I mean parentheses. Uh, and then so on with this. With const text here at the top. So everything you see here, but with the quotes here, and then the critical hit is what's going to show on the battle manager text. Or at least it should. Alright, so here we have the same principle of what I was talking about earlier, where we have a loop where one frame, at every frame you had a variable getting added. And then once, after a certain amount of frames, it moves on to the next part. In this case, though, we have ranges that it checks in between. Let's look over this. And the reason I have this like as if greater than is because just in case in the case that it goes over 50, it somehow misses it for whatever reason. You know, you don't want it to like get stuck like that. So it's just like a safety kind of precaution. Even though it could have been done like if equal to. So let's see if this works now. Battle manager is not defined. What's... Did I use the wrong wording? Oh, I see. Wait, no, I don't see. Okay, yeah, I see. Never mind. I put battler manager. It should have been just battle manager for all of them. That's a big no to do. Do not do. So if I press the button on time once it lights up, then I successfully get that second hidden. If I don't get the hidden. Okay, so that works pretty good. And next, I'm gonna find out what's going on with the screen width and height because I have these ugly lines that left and right side. Not to live with it for now. You just saw I accidentally clicked on the screen and that causes the player to move where you click. This is kind of annoying and kind of also breaks some games because it automatically solves puzzles, solves mazes specifically. So that's where the plugin Disable Mouse comes in. Where that no longer happens. But you can still select from the menu with the mouse if you want to. But now, as you can see, no more clicking on the map. Okay, next we have the Equip Slots core app plugin. So this lets you add equip slots. Default initial equipment like through the engine. Okay, my unmute didn't work there. I'm saying it doesn't let you. It doesn't let you use initial equipment from within the game engine's default stuff. Settings. So instead, we have to have an event on the map. And with this event, we can go ahead and add the default settings we want for the game. Or at least set like a few things to happen right away. So here we can allow Actor 1 to equip a staff instead of doing it through here. Because they don't start with this stuff either, we'd have to do it this way. So for the sake of the example, I have a force wand here instead of the mithril rod. See here, I have my mithril rod. That would be the default engine's setting. And here we have this, where we give the character a force wand in their inventory by having change weapons to a force wand, and then they equip it with change equipment automatically. Also has the auto run, so it automatically runs as soon as the as soon as the map starts. And then self switch A goes turned on, which means this page, it turns into this page basically, where nothing is happening on it. And now you can see, wait, what? Undefined. Let's double check what it's doing without that. We'll set this to action so that way you have to actually interact with it in order for it to do anything. So it looks like it's trying to load that default equipment. Let's see if turning that off changes that then. Yeah, so that's expected. That's fine because we don't have that defined yet. So I think that works actually. And now we're back at square one. Let's remove equip weapon. And see if that helps. Okay, I see. It's probably something with the spelling. I have staff. And what kind of weapons are there? Staff. Okay, I had that spelled correctly. That's weird. I don't see what I'm doing wrong with it. Oh, I see. Let's put 06 instead. Free and fluff. Maybe just 6. Okay, that's weird. It's not letting me choose an equipment item. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, it's a issue. Because I don't have anything being added by default or by the plugin or by this either. And it still shows an undefined object. When there shouldn't be anything there to begin with anymore. I'll go ahead and try again what I had earlier. But, I'll close out RPG Maker and then reopen it. This better fix the problem. That's weird. It's not letting me change the equipment still. Oh, because the default, let's have to add that again. This should let me do that. Okay, undefined still. No idea why it's still doing that. Alright, we'll just move on from that word and go on to the next customization, which is custom experience functions. So this allows you to change the the rate at which you level up. So right now what I have it set to is I'm not sure if you can see the other window, but it's set to basically be to where it just needs 100 experience points every level. While by default you don't really have much control. I can't really show the experience curve on OBS. But you basically get like 4 sliders. And the plugin I have here that I put together, you can create custom functions. And that will let you have wherever. Pretty much whatever you want to have for the rate of leveling up. Rate of experience and need for leveling up. So let me just go ahead and start the game and show what I mean. What? Okay, why is this having issues now too? I mean, delete the save file. And why is that back? I know that's not an issue on my end of programming that because that's not even my plugin. But looks like none of them are working right now. Wow, I have no idea what's going on right now with this. Yes, apparently it's also reading my folders as RPG Baker. I'm not trying to skin record my Windows, what do you call it? File Explorer. Okay, now, um, it's not an issue of them not working together because I've already used them together before. I've used all of them together before. I'm I have no idea why this is happening. Well, we can try just doing one at a time and seeing. Like, that's still appearing for some reason. I've never seen a project become like corrupt. And no, they haven't been patched or anything. Like, most of these either converted myself or put together myself, so. And a lot of other ones that aren't mine. They, they're old and don't have updates being made to them. Unless RPG Maker decided to make an update like right before the stream or in the middle of this somehow that somehow applied to it. That sounds very unlikely. I think the project became corrupt somehow. I don't know what would have caused it. One that we should try is making a new project and seeing how that works. With all the same plugins. Let's try this Eclipse slots core and see if there's anything different for Sorcerer. And I closed it. I don't want to. I almost forgot about how horribly loud it is. You have to like get rid of all the music first in order to play test anything. And the sound effects are still gonna be loud because it's a new project. Oh hey, I guess that is an issue with the plugin here. You know, I know I've tried it before elsewhere. Oh well. Wait, let's try the other one that gets rid of that. The mobile menu. That should be getting it by default, but I did have issues with it today at the beginning of the stream too. I'll try this one again too. Sorry, that's not working either, because it should say next level 100 with this one. I wonder if it has anything to do with my device and driver space. It's crazy because like all of this is working fine, like not even that long ago. Dang, like can't really use the things I was gonna use. Let's see if this works. Well, at least that does. Well, I don't know where to go from here anymore. Again, my mic's muting is not great with my foot switch. Hey, now this isn't doing anything at all. Like, normally this plugin will not let you use the default equipment types if you add them. Like earlier, it was still doing that much at least, like getting rid of the default equipment types. And now it's like it's not even processing the plugin at all. I've never seen anything like this happen before. As far as computer space, I don't know. We could have to do with how it handles RAM. That's all I can think of. just not having enough random access or memory space. I shouldn't need that much though. Oh well, it's over. It is quite literally over. Oh yeah, 4 minutes left, class. What do we do now? Oh dang. Can't believe you broke the flapping swan. That's tragedy. Oh yeah, yeah, go ahead and take over whenever I want to go ahead and end it then. See ya.